I need to tell you, though, that this is like the triple crown for me. This is the crown jewel, in fact, of the triple crown. I've had the honor of being the best man in a wedding. I've also had the honor of officiating a couple's wedding. But to be the father of the bride is a privilege second to none. I want to be the first to welcome Aaron and Zach into marriage. On behalf of Sally and myself, I want to thank you all for being here. It's really an amazing time to have this many family members that are here. Now, you may not have the same last name as Ganakis or Webb, but you all here are our family. You've heard the term, it takes a village to raise a child. And this village has raised these two young people. So I want to thank you for what you've done in the past. And I want to thank you for what you're going to do in the future for these two people. Special thanks go out to Mary, Diane, Stacy, Beth, Chef Kurt, and the amazing elves that put on this production, which happen to be my sisters. Yes. I'd also like to acknowledge the people that have predeceased us today. A special thought to those people that are near and dear to all our hearts that are not here, but their spirit is here with us. For that, we thank them. Also, thanks for Father Mark and Father Folio, who's not here. But Father Mark, as I call it, went off the grid to do this ceremony. For those of you that don't understand the Catholic faith, he came and did this ceremony for Aaron and Zach specially, and for Aaron and Zach's grandmother. Gino told me if I get real emotional to count back from 100 by 7. So I'm at 93. I can't figure out what's past 93. I want to welcome Zach into our family special. It's really amazing when Aaron and Zach first announced their engagement. I don't know if you know the date. Do you guys know the date that happened? Well, for me it happened on the 12th of August. That was the day that Zach called me and asked if he could marry Aaron. I asked a lot of tough questions, of which his answers were remarkable. Clearly, Zach cares about Aaron. That came across loud and clear. There could be nothing as important as that. I asked him tough questions. I wanted to know what he would do, not when things go right, because that's fairly easy. I wanted to know what happens when things go wrong. Can he stand in the middle of the fire and not shrink back? I think yes. It really was an amazing discussion. I gave one piece of advice. When you're wrong, admit it. And when you're right, keep it to yourself. The biggest thing that I see in Zach and Aaron is their belief in each other. Sure, they have belief in God, they have belief in their family, they have belief in their friends, but the belief is what I saw that was the strongest. It reminded me of the story of a mountain climber that was climbing up a mountain, a steep mountain. just kept trudging up the mountain. As he was almost near the top, he slipped on a rock and started to fall down the sheer cliff. And he was able to grab a branch that hung out off this cliff. He grabbed the branch and he was hanging there. He looked down, 1,500 feet of sheer depth. He looked up for about 20 or 30 feet, no chance to get up to the top. So he started yelling, "Help! Help! Is anybody up there? Please help me!" Finally, he heard a booming voice in the heavens that said, "I will help you. If you believe, let go of the rock. Let go of the branch, if you believe." He looked down to 1,500 feet of sheer cliff. He looked up and yelled, "Anybody else up there?" That's belief. Now, I actually think that, now let's go into a first toast. If you will, raise your glasses. Raise your glasses to Aaron and Zach. May your love be modern enough to survive the times and old-fashioned enough to last forever. Life is short, live it. Love is rare, grab it. Anger is bad, dump it. Fear is awful, face it. Memories are sweet, cherish it. Aaron and Zach. A daughter is the most wonderful gift from God. They're soft, they're cuddly, and they look at you like you're the most important thing in the whole world. And then you think, God, am I so lucky to have a daughter. And then God shows his humorous side. He gives you another daughter. And then the crying starts. That's when Sally would say to me, "Stop your crying and go take care of Aaron." When Aaron was little, she had this mop of curly hair. And we used to call her Whiny Einie. And we used to call her Whiny Einie because one day she'd be really happy, but another day she'd be crying incessantly. Well, we found out that Whiny Einie had a very serious health problem. So, of course, we took her to the best doctors, and we ended up at Children's Hospital in Detroit. And if anybody has ever been with a child in a hospital, you'll know I'm emotional. But that's the beauty of it right now for me, because I'll always care for Aaron and always take care of her. But now I got a partner. I have a partner in Zach. It's a double teamer. Zach, I thank you. I'd like to read you some words that somebody wrote about Aaron. They're probably the same ones that you have, but I'd like to read these. They describe Aaron: laughter, cheerfulness, positive, sarcastic, humorous, dramatic, witty, worldly, sensitive, lovable, feisty, sophisticated, fun, friendly, creative, and loves people. Most of us here would agree with probably all of them and maybe have our favorites. These were written by one of the sisters, Aunt Gail. And Aunt Gail won the lottery for being a godmother. It was close, but she won it. One of the things that Aaron and Zach have that's not on that list, that I saw the first time that I met the two of them together, was their spirit of conviction. The conviction that they have toward each other is amazing. August 12th, when Zach asked me if he could marry Aaron, I asked when they were going to get married. The response was, it was going to be, I don't know. I don't know turned into probably sometime next summer. But what's important to Zach and Erin is family. People here are our family. So they decided that they were going to get married in a span of a month, 6 weeks, with Sister Jenny, maid of honor, spearheading the team to get all this put together. Passion and personality were always Erin's gift to us. Kind of like the time when she was a little girl and she said to me, Dad, it's a good thing you named me Erin. Why, honey? Why is it a good thing I named you Erin? Because that's what everybody calls me. Okay. Or the time that Sally told her that I was working late, didn't get all my work done, and I was going to be home late. And Erin said, well, if you can't get all his work done, why don't they just put him in a slower group? Erin had that compassion and caring attitude as a little girl, which carried her to Western Michigan and to Chicago and off to Africa with Jamie and different ventures. She ended up in Austin, Texas, where she became a pre-K special ed teacher. What a wonderful thing, and what a great gift for a father to be able to go and see her in that environment. What an amazing environment to take care of these young children that needed her more than anything. But not just the children to Erin thrilled me, but the way that the administrators and the other teachers looked at Erin with such love and compassion and caring. That was really an amazing thing. Probably the reason they voted her Teacher of the Year. When I look at those children in that classroom, it reminds me of the saying that says, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. Erin to these children is and are the world. I wasn't sure it was going to be that way when I remember Erin as a mop-haired 3-year-old, and I had one of those old video cameras that you had to sling on your back and take up the stairs, and I walked into their play area, and Erin was sitting on the area, and I got the video running. So you'll be able to see this video. If I knew how to operate Facebook like April, I'd put it on, but I'm sorry, I don't. But I said, Erin, on the video, Erin, where's your sister Jenny? Erin says, I don't know. I repeated it. Erin, where's Jenny? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, you hear some rustling in a basket behind. It was all the clothes where Erin had deposited little 1.5 or 1-year-old Jenny in the basket and just left her there. She grew up. It does take a village to raise a child. I don't know the secret of a long marriage. But I do know that we will always be there for Zach and Erin. And that in itself is probably the most important thing in this room for all of us, to be there for Erin and Zach, not just during the good times, but when there's tension or commotion or problems or pain. That's when we can help them the most. The great philosopher Cindy Lauper said it better than I can say it. Brandon? If you look, you can look and you will find it. Time after time. If you fall, I will get you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you look, you can look and you will find it. Time after time. If you fall, I will get you. I would, for the sake of my mom and dad, who I'm so thrilled for them to be here, I would repeat the words, but I probably can't. I know most of you know those words. What comes after 93?
86.
Aaron, time after time, we will be here. If you fall, we'll catch you. As the great philosopher Dr. Seuss says, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. With one last toast, please raise your glasses. Aaron, I will love you forever. I will like you always. As long as I'm living, my child you will be. Here's to love, laughter, and happily ever after. As Zach and Aaron start their new life, let's toast the new husband and wife. Thank you all. Now I'd like to have Chuck the Imperial come up and give a grace prayer before dinner.